They're really moist cakes as well.
The cake, no!
Chafing on the nipples.
Mom seems like a bit of a new age loon.
Oh no.
Oh, it now means that he gets to walk faster.
And wear double denim. It's definitely 1995. Oh god.
Threesome?
Yep. Hello and welcome to The Queer Gaze, where we react to LGBTQ plus media from every country and every decade.
We're reacting to gay coming-of-age films, complete with nuanced discussion of queer representation and issues.
You can support the show and get access to extra content and full unedited videos over at Patreon.
And of course, you can follow us on social media at The Queer Gaze, all one word.
So what are we fixing our gaze on today, Joe?
All right, so we are actually talking about a Swedish film from 1995 called Sebastian. It's based on a novel by Per Knutsen, and it's directed by Svend Wam.
I haven't seen much Swedish cinema, you?
I've seen Let the Right One In, which is technically a queer coming-of-age film, obviously in the horror bent, but no, I was not familiar with this film in the slightest until we started doing our research.
Okay, so any expectations going in?
So I've heard that this is a relatively straightforward narrative and that it's a simple coming out story. So it's like uncomplicated, which I find fascinating because that's very opposite of most filmic experiences.
Yeah, usually you derive drama from drama.
Exactly. So I'm not sure how this is going to play as a feature-length film.
Okay, well, can't wait to check it out. Without further ado, let's meet our gaze. Okay.
All right.
Endlich ist er da.
This room is giving me like fairy tale vibes.
Kubrick fan, though. Kudos.
He's already got good taste.
Aber ist es nicht normal, dass man etwas für sich selbst behalten will? Das will doch wohl jeder.
Do we think the things he's keeping to himself is gay pornography?
Hopefully not in 1995's internet.
Kannst du mir verraten, was du da oben in deinem Zimmer eigentlich treibst? Dich sieht man hier gar nicht mehr. Was ist?
Mom's a bit of a fox.
Is that every mom in Sweden?
So I will say, I've been to Copenhagen, just not Sweden, but everyone literally looked like a model. It was ridiculous.
Bitte sprich mit mir, Sebastian. Hast du mit Drogen angefangen, jemanden umgebracht? Bist du vielleicht unter die Terroristen gegangen? Bist du verliebt?
These are the options?
Yes, it's an either or. I can already see we're setting up a kind of classic queer narrative, right? Where one parent is very intrusive and the other one is very understanding but quiet and is holding back.
Yeah, he's going to be the call me by your name dad.
Literally what I was thinking.
Literally the best dad in the world.
Sobald man 13 wird, brüten sie über ihren Ratgebern zur Erziehung von Teenagern. So läuft es aber nicht bei allen. Zwischen den Dingen stehen. Zwischen zwei Ländern. Zwischen zwei Zeiten.
Oh my goodness. It's 1995, everyone.
Indeed. I'm not gonna lie, these boys are cute.
Even with a handkerchief on their head?
Hey, hallo! Au! Sebastian! Wo kommst du auf
Oh
einmal her?
no, we've got a girlfriend. What was that look?
That was the I'm worried about how much my boyfriend likes his friend look.
I'll try to mend the pieces. I'll try to do the right thing. I think we're getting closer all the time.
These are the most G-rated activities I've ever seen teenagers do in the summer.
I know. Even I was putting fireworks in post boxes. The limited activities for teenagers in Sweden in 1995.
So which of these two boys do we think he's in love with?
Well, I think it's Handkerchief Boy, isn't it?
Which is a shame because I think checkered t-shirt guy is the quiet, sensitive one.
Maybe he'll crash and burn with the first one and then just suddenly discover that he's really in love with the other one.
So we're not even getting on a train, we're just hanging out at the train station.
Train spotting? Oh, something I did not do at the age of 16.
I knew a bunch of people who did, but yeah, I was never tempted to start smoking. Thank goodness. I have way too much of an addictive personality. Here we go.
Du bist so komisch geworden.
Was meinst du damit? Bekommst du ihn weg?
Nein, nicht
Ah.
Here,
Oh
let me just
my.
paw at your face. Nothing says foreplay like you have a black stain on your nose.
Quick, let's reassert our masculinity by fighting.
Indeed. Let's see if it becomes more serious.
Wrestling on a train platform doesn't seem like a very safe thing to do. Oh dear.
No.
hab ich dich.
Die Leute denken bestimmt, dass wir schwul sind.
Oh.
There it is.
Wieso machen sich immer alle über die Schwulen lustig? Ich hab das langsam satt.
Now we're back in familiar territory. Whew. Well, let's pause for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, right now, what we're dealing with is a fairly classic, kind of tropey storyline of I'm in love with my best friend, but then, of course, he says something about how queers are nonsense, they make me sick, and so on. How often have we seen this narrative?
Pretty much in every single one of these films. I would say in the 90s and the early noughties, this feels like sort of specifically the 90s experience. I'm thinking of things like Get Real and so on, that somebody will demonstrate their internalized homophobia as some way to deflect from what they're actually feeling.
Right. Yeah.
But was he doing that, or was he sort of railing against prejudice? I couldn't quite tell.
I think the former, like the very classical, conventional sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Well, we'll see. I'm sure there's lessons to be learned, because this feels like a very coming-of-age lesson movie.
Yeah. See what we learn.
Mein Vater stand gestern mal wieder stinkbesoffen vor der Tür. Wir mussten uns vor ihm verbarrikadieren.
Was ist passiert?
Das würdest du nie verstehen.
We're really racking up the issues here. We've got an abusive drunk dad. We're poor.
Okay, so he's a kid from the rough side of town, I guess.
Yes.
Wrong side of the tracks, as they say.
Quite literally. Because we're at the train station.
Whereas this feels more traditionally middle class.
Yes. Which is going to be interesting. I'm wondering if part of the easy coming out is that he doesn't have to worry about financial insecurity or something like that. I mean, Mom seems like a bit of a new age loon.
Ist es ein Mädchen?
Nein, es ist kein Mädchen.
Na, das wird schon werden.
Das wird schon werden, das wird schon werden. Wie oft habe ich dich das schon sagen hören, na?
Wir sind inzwischen seit 18 Jahren zusammen, also sind es bald 100.000 Mal.
Oh, du machst mich noch wahnsinnig.
The mom is ridiculous, and I kind of love it. I will say one of the other things I feel like I notice in movies of this time period is there's never a consideration that anyone could ever be queer. Like, from a parent's perspective, it's always, oh, is it about a girl? And it's like, there's never a, oh, is there someone?
Which still happens now. I mean, Nick Nelson's mother in Heartstopper, the great Olivia Colman, even makes the same assumption.
Hier gibt es weit und breit den besten Kuchen. Ist es nicht hübsch hier?
Ich muss mal auf die Toilette.
Boy, they do not get along. Well, she's clueless, but I don't think he likes her very much.
Well, it's the teenage years, isn't it? You simultaneously know everything and nothing, and your parents don't understand even though they went through it once.
It's critique the cakes. Are they good? Oh my god, he's gonna sneak off.
Really? He's standing his mother up. They're really moist cakes as well.
The cake! No! I just love it if we cut back and it was like dark and she was still sitting there.
She looks like Sarah Connor contemplating the nuclear holocaust.
She is giving Linda Hamilton vibes, isn't she?
I mean, I know when you're a teenager there's nothing more lame than spending time with your parents, but ditching them?
It seems abrupt. Why not just say, Mom, I've got another engagement. Let's do this another day.
Muss dieser Bengel immer solchen Blödsinn machen?
Ja? Was ist los?
That's just rude and cruel, isn't it, really?
Wo bist du denn gewesen? Ich warte seit mindestens 10 Minuten auf dich.
Now he's gaslighting her?
What the hell?
Not gonna lie, there's some weirdly uncomfortable sexual chemistry between these two actors.
Warum konnte ich nicht einfach weiter in Lisbeth verliebt sein?
Ooh, controversy. The girl who is uncomfortable with his relationship with Ulf is someone he used to date.
Really? Oh. Well, there's an easy way to solve that.
Threesome?
Yep.
I think that's a little progressive for the mid-90s.
Quite possibly.
This isn't Euphoria, Conrad. Jeez. Oh my, we're getting a bit of skin.
And a side baseball cap.
It was all the rage in Sweden in the 90s, I guess.
Open shirt on a rainy day?
Is he gonna bail?
I hope not. He'll get serious damage. Chafing on the nipples.
ADR cat.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. This is a very ostentatious way of showing that you are going through something.
Warum habe ich solche Angst zu zeigen, wer ich bin?
What do we think about voiceover in movies? They're fairly common in YA, so I'm kind of used to it, but I do dislike it as a narrative technique.
I do, particularly when you find out that the film is based on a novel, because what it feels like to me is that they fall in love with the novel's interior monologue and want to find a way to externalize it, and this is the only way that they can think of, which I think is lazy.
Especially stuff like that, where I think you could have him very clearly, like you could trust the actor to connote that without actually having to have him be like, why can't I tell people? Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think you needed to say anything at all. I think you just get it.
Like, we just watched him literally go off a pier. I think we know he's going through something.
Sitzt du oben in deinem Zimmer und weinst?
Könnt ihr mich nicht einmal in Ruhe lassen?
Do you cry in your room?
I mean, no, I prefer to go to the bathroom.
Wir möchten doch nur, dass du mit uns darüber redest.
They're really pushy.
Ich bin kein Patient von dir. Du bist hier nicht bei deiner Arbeit.
It feels like almost too quick an escalation for me. Like, is this something that's been building for a while? Because it feels like just, we went to breakfast one day and decided we're going to ask you probing questions.
Does that ring true to you? Because, I don't know, my experience is parents are oblivious because they're too close to it, so they don't notice.
I mean, I know from my own personal experience, both my parents and my sister definitely noticed when I was going through things in high school, particularly, but they never asked me. They tried to create spaces where I would feel comfortable to say something, and I never did. But in hindsight, that's very clearly what they were doing.
Yeah. No, I would say the same. I would never be confronted like that.
Heute habe ich Zeit, mit zu dir zu kommen.
Willst du wirklich?
Ja,
Aber Mama und Pap sind da.
das macht doch nichts. Komm, lass uns gehen.
This is another curious piece about this film as a bit of a time capsule. And again, it could be a Swedish thing, but both boys with the kind of semi-androgynous, very clean, cute, almost not quite effeminate faces, but and then the haircut. It's I don't know, it's an interesting play on typical gender.
Yeah. And who is that? Because that's not Ulf, is it?
That was Ulf with his hair down. Because he
Really?
had a ponytail before.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gosh. Flashbacks to our interview with a vampire experience. So, hair up or down for Ulf? What do you think?
It's still up for me. I'll take a ponytail because I think it can actually be quite attractive. But, I mean, this is giving me, like, very Seattle grunge, kind of like Kurt Cobain vibes.
Yeah. For me, it's Atreyu from Neverending Story, just because they look so young.
Bringing home my crush to mom and dad. Don't mind me, we'll just be in my room.
Deine Eltern sind wirklich spitze.
Woher willst du das wissen? Du hast sie gerade mal 10 Sekunden gesehen.
Wait, is he wearing a waistcoat?
The fashion is curious, but yes.
I was big into waistcoats in the 90s.
So what you're saying is this tracks.
For me, yeah. Maybe it was just a European thing.
Which Gus Van Sant poster is that? Is that My Own Private Idaho?
Could be.
I mean, if so, the parents. It's a dead giveaway. Come on. But that would actually also track then for the hair. It's like, yeah, it's very River Phoenix, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Sebastian, Torbjörn und ich haben beschlossen,
Oh my
ins
God,
Kino und im
Mom.
Anschluss noch irgendwas trinken zu gehen. Also dann,
Deine
Is she
Mutter sieht
setting this up? Is she like, hey boys,
Whoa.
we're leaving so you can have sex?
sehr attraktiv.
Wow.
Du ahnst.
Oh no, are we wrestling again?
Apparently. Like, these boys need to learn how to communicate. Like, show your affection in a different manner, please.
Well, this is clearly going to end with something. Come on. This is nearly as bad as accidentally falling into somebody's arms.
Oops, I tripped and fell on your lips and then your penis.
Really?
This is infantilizing. What is happening here?
I was beyond this when I was 17, and I was a late bloomer.
If this sequence doesn't end with the house burning down, I mean, I applaud their choice of waffles for dinner because I'm all over that.
Oh, God.
They've single-handedly destroyed this house, or at least this kitchen, in the span of a single night.
Are they just deliberately getting things on their nose so that they can wipe them off? Is that what this is?
Wollen wir uns schminken?
Kannst du das nochmal sagen?
Wollen wir uns schminken? Mit Lidschatten und so.
Ja, ja, aber warum sollten wir?
Warum denn nicht? Nur so zum Spaß.
I'm having such a hard time getting a read on Ulf.
Yeah, can we put on some makeup? Is not my first guess at his conversation starter.
Even like, we should try to look like this band. Like, let's, do our eyes or something. I mean, we should note, we're watching a foreign film, so it's entirely possible that some of these subtitles are actually not reflective of what's being said.
The English isn't great in them, it has to be said. Are we going to end up doing each other's makeup? Yeah, of course. Let me touch your face for a long time.
Honestly, these boys would have already been having sex if this was a movie from 20 years later. So much foreplay! What is happening?
Nicht umdrehen.
I don't know.
Hang on, I'm just giving you a tramp stamp.
Wird doch schon. Jetzt
So what is this music?
I don't know.
Echt stark.
Sounds like 70s folk or light rock.
We've lost our tops.
I have to say, I never just casually daubed things onto topless men in my bedroom.
And then drank wine, seemingly. Whoa.
Oh my.
I feel like we should get a bag of popcorn. This is getting, We are just going through it right now. Like, whatever you think could happen is happening.
Well, the hair's coming in useful.
You know what? They're having their best rock star fantasy moment. I love this for them.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, why not? I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, they could be drunk.
God, just think of how to clean this up. I'm such an adult.
Wow. Oh my.
I mean, you can only think of one thing when we see something like that, right?
I mean,
This is a
Yes.
sex act.
it feels symbolic.
So messy.
It's like the cigarette.
Ich muss nach Hause. Ich hätte schon längst da sein sollen. Ich muss auf die Mädchen aufpassen.
Ständig kümmerst du dich um diese blöden Gören. Als ob die beiden deine wären.
Du verstehst überhaupt nichts.
Sei doch nicht sauer, Ulf. Ich hab's nicht so gemeint. Du kannst hier auch übernachten, wenn du willst.
Sleep here.
Inga hat Heizweh und meine Mutter muss zur Arbeit.
Bleib doch bitte hier.
Oh.
There it is. I mean, Ulf, surely you had to see this coming after the evening we just had.
It's an odd choice of moment to do it in, though.
But it
Because-
felt desperate, didn't it?
Yeah, they were kind of having an argument. You know, surely if you were going to go for the kiss, it would have been during the naked in the bath splashing white froth on the walls moment.
But that's when we're having fun, and this is a, no, please don't leave. Like, how can I convince you to stay?
Jetzt reicht's mir endgültig. Was geht hier überhaupt vor?
Wow.
Hier sieht es ja aus wie auf einem Schlachtfeld. Hast du dir etwa einen Schläger zum Liebhaber genommen?
Er ist nicht mein Liebhaber.
Sebastian, was ist hier vorgefallen?
Eigentlich gar
God,
nichts.
why do we just keep asking him this?
It's the same scene over and over
Wir
again.
haben gespielt.
Hast du eine Vorliebe für Jungen?
Oh,
Finally, someone's just being direct.
thunder rumbles.
Storm's coming. I appreciate that it's like the halfway point of the movie, though. Like, we didn't drag it out needlessly.
Also bist du nun...
Ich glaube schon.
Aber wieso hast du uns nichts gesagt?
Was sollte ich denn sagen? Ich weiß doch selbst nicht so genau. Und ihr habt mich nur mit euren Fragen genervt. Jetzt will ich wissen, wie ihr dazu steht.
Ist das ein Wettbewerb darum, wer am meisten Verständnis mit ihm hat?
It's a little meta. He's actually asking whether he should play the character role that we were discussing about him at the beginning.
Überhaupt nicht schlimm.
It definitely seems like all of a sudden she's like reverted into a completely different character, right? Or is she overcompensating?
Es ist vollkommen in Ordnung, wenn es nun einmal so ist.
They're the most understanding parents in the world.
Deswegen muss man doch nicht in Tränen ausbrechen.
Ich meine doch gar nicht.
I mean, this is the definition of denial.
Sebastian's like, I'll just sit here and wait for you two to figure your shit out.
Yeah, it's kind of coming across as teenager just trying to piss his parents off at the moment.
All right, well, I guess we're all good. Movie's
Yeah.
over.
Apparently so.
I generally turn a light on when I'm cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah, it helps. Maybe she doesn't want to see just how bad they wrecked it.
Oh my god. This is interesting, though. I can honestly say I've never seen a reaction like this in a film when someone comes out. Like, the most you get is somebody who says, it's all right, we still love you. But this is interesting. The tearful, almost hysterically happy reaction.
Yeah, and we're staying on the parents. Usually they get one moment on the sofa and then it's back to focusing on the kids because they're the
Right.
most important. Who cares how the parents are? They're not physical, emotional beings of their own at all.
Yeah. I mean, I will confess, I still don't actually know how Sebastian is doing in this moment.
No, it's true. I couldn't get a read on what he was doing in that scene at all. His behaviour is quite peculiar. Ooh, double denim.
Yes. He's practically a de facto Canadian with this outfit.
Okay, dann ist die Sache wenigstens klar. Ich bin schwul.
So that's it, Conrad. He's gay.
You're right. Gosh, so easy.
And now means that he gets to walk faster.
And wear double denim. Okay. So here's the guy we lunged at after leaping around in the bath with last night. How's this gonna go?
The awkward morning after. Let's see how it plays out. Oh, more walking, apparently.
Yeah.
Es tut mir leid, was passiert ist.
Ach, vergiss es.
It's so domestic. It's two gays and their de facto child.
Meine Augen waren ganz rot und verschwollen. Mama dachte, ich wäre krank.
Was hast du ihr erzählt?
Ich habe ihr gesagt, ich hätte ein bisschen Hasch geraucht. Sie musste ja nicht wissen, dass ich mich geschminkt hatte.
Oh, okay. I'd rather talk about taking drugs than wearing
Ich muss jetzt
makeup.
weiter.
It's true, yeah. I think the thing I'm struggling with a little bit with this movie so far, apart from the fact that it seems to have very wild mood swings in terms of its like ups and downs, Sebastian's a bit of a boring protagonist.
Was ist mit deinem Vater?
Mit dem will ich nichts mehr zu tun haben. Sein Anblick macht mir schon Angst.
Warum?
Weil ich nicht wie er werden möchte. Aber das wird nie geschehen. Bist du homosexuell?
Oh, whoa.
Du hast mich sehr
Out
gut
with
verstanden.
it.
Wie kommst du darauf?
Du hast mich auf...
Pretty good reason.
Fair point. Yeah.
Und du?
Nein, bin ich nicht. Obwohl ich mal mit einem Freund rumgemacht
Oh, okay.
Mit
I mean, you're a little more queer than me, I
habe.
guess.
Aber ich glaube, das ist nichts für mich.
Here's the thing. That is a very fair point. And queer movies often like to position it as, oh, you did something with a boy once, that means you're gay. So I applaud this film from 1995 saying, no, I can do things with a boy, it doesn't make me gay.
Yeah.
We cannot trust these kids with water, apparently.
No.
Hör auf zu lachen! Ich will eine Antwort!
Ja, entschuldige bitte.
Du musst dich nicht immer zu entschuldigen. Du hast nichts Falsches getan.
Du darfst es niemandem verraten.
Lass mich! Natürlich verrate ich's niemandem. Sind wir Freunde oder sind wir keine Freunde?
So this is interesting, right? You know, we came out to the parents and they were very direct and they asked the questions and we answered. And now Ulf is doing the exact same thing and everybody is just okay with it.
Yeah. Well, Ulf is like a metrosexual, but in 1995, which,
Right.
as you say, great. Maybe a Swedish thing. Maybe it, culturally, just a little bit more open-minded and experimental with regard to sex, which wouldn't surprise me, actually.
Yeah, I wonder if this is one of those instances where we're kind of missing the cultural connotations and like this wouldn't be that big of a deal in the mid-90s in Sweden. Because for me, this is pretty revolutionary. Like, you would not get these responses in North America in 1995.
No.
Soll ich euch jetzt ins Bett bringen?
Nein!
Wollt ihr lieber Theater sehen?
Ja!
Okay, dann bitte ich die Damen, sich aufs Sofa zu setzen und der Vorstellung...
So we've paused the main narrative of the film so that we can do an extended theatrical performance of Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what this is doing.
Brauche ich, damit ich
I
dich besser...
don't know.
One thing,
Einen großen Mund du hast.
in terms of character development, is it supposed to be he's great with kids? Because it's not.
Nein.
No, clearly he should not be a babysitter.
Hallo Lisbeth, ich habe da ein Problem.
They're still crying.
His traumatized elf sisters.
Hat das Rotkäppchen aufgefressen?
Soll ich euch lieber etwas anderes erzählen?
Ja.
I'm glad Lisbeth doesn't have anything better to do tonight than come and help him.
It's a staple of gay cinema.
Oh my gosh,
It's the
yes.
volleyball scene.
I love it.
Where's Tom Cruise?
Boy. This is reminding me a bit of The Room, I'm not going to lie. The Tommy Wiseau film.
Okay, so we're establishing that none of them can catch.
No.
Is this secretly coding them all as queer?
They're all tops.
Whoa, what the hell's happening here? Oh, okay.
Photo booth?
It's the obligatory photo booth.
Just push that other guy out of the frame because he's not a character.
Oh, it's the train station.
Of course it is.
The nexus of all social life in Sweden.
Well, and seemingly the only group of teenagers who live in this entire town are these, what, 4, 5?
Is that girl wearing the same outfit she was wearing at the beginning?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I guess Ulf is wearing the same outfit he was wearing at the beginning.
You mean
I.e.
his tits?
nothing.
This is when the orgy begins.
There is quite an oral fixation in this movie.
I couldn't tell if it was just like, these kids like to eat, or if it's like, these kids are projecting. Hey, Conrad, how do you know it's nighttime?
Was denn das? Hetero.
I feel like I should change my lighting to match.
Verdammt nochmal.
Oh, there we go.
Beauty.
I feel like we've had, like, the major dramatic turning point of the film, and now we're just lost.
Yeah, like we're just kind of playing it out, and I honestly have no idea where the rest of this film goes, except to maybe get him comfortable enough to tell other people.
We interrupt this movie for a fashion show.
He must try on various ensembles before he goes to meet the boy of his dreams.
Yes, all of them involve his nipples being visible.
Are you complaining?
No, I'm jealous. I've never been brave enough to walk around with my nipples exposed.
No, you gotta free the nip. Summertime. Okay. This is comparable to how I dance, yeah. A lot of hands and not a lot of feet.
It's definitely 1995.
I feel like he's just really learning to embrace his queer identity, you know? I have to be fashionable, I have to
Das ist ein
dance.
beschissener Halbschwuler. Den brauche ich mit Sicherheit nicht. Nicht einmal für einen jämmerlichen Einbruch.
What is the robbery? What is happening with this? This is a made-up thing. What is the movie doing?
I do not understand why the equivalence between homosexuality and robbery.
Is it like a be gay, do crimes thing from back in the 90s?
It's a slippery slide, Joe. You just go from waffles to drugs to robbery.
The natural evolution of queerness.
Yeah.
Hallo, wer ist denn das? Hast du eine Zigarette?
Sex workers?
Wir sind uns schon mal irgendwo begegnet. Bestimmt in der Disco.
So the movie has become curiously aimless, where
Yeah.
seemingly we've addressed all of the major conflicts, and now Sebastian is just wandering around. The dramatics just seem curiously out of line. Like, I don't understand what his internal struggle is. Like, why are we breaking stuff?
Even though we have interior monologue, he's explaining the bits I get, but the bits I don't get, I'm not understanding. Like, what's
Right.
happening with him now?
Yeah, we don't know. We have no clue.
Palm reading?
He seems to be struggling with, do I have to be queer if I like boys, or if I only like Ulf? So this seems to be part of his journey of self-discovery, but it's really not well done. Uh-oh, jealousy. Slow motion jealousy.
It's the most kinetic the film's been. Oh.
But like the editing is verging on music video now. Like,
yeah.
It's almost hard to follow the action.
Sebastian, du hast geschrien.
Why is this framed like a sex scene? Just waiting for you, Dad.
Yeah. Oh.
I too once had homosexual urges, son.
Yeah, let me towel you off. Oh. Yeah.
Glaubst du, du kannst wieder einschlafen?
Here's the thing. This is fine. It was just put into context of what we were seeing before. Like, this seems curiously intimate. Curiously intimate.
Yeah.
Mein lieber Junge.
No. I mean, again, maybe Sweden.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like my own experience, once you get to beyond a certain age,
Yes.
sort of nude touching sort of stops between family members.
Yeah.
Shared baths and toweling. It kind of stops.
Yeah. Admittedly, this is, again, when I'm very curious, like, is this a Swedish thing, a European thing, a 1995 thing? I need more context.
Yeah. It could be this is fine and it's just our cultural background
our
that
own
makes us
hang-ups.
sort of go, oh.
Du bist dabei, erwachsen zu werden, mein Junge.
Yeah, time to stop toweling him down at night.
Ja. Ich muss mal auf die Toilette.
Uh-oh, now she's going to bail on him. She's going to go to the bathroom. She's going to sneak out the window.
Please cut to her clambering out of the bathroom window in heels. That would be great.
How funny would that be? But these cakes really are quite good. Oh my god!
She's actually doing it. She's actually doing it.
I love this.
Go, Mom.
No, she's not going to be able to do it. She's going to start and then she's going to be like, I can't.
She suddenly realizes she's the adult.
No?
Oh, go for it, Mom. And she's in heels. I love it.
And she's in heels.
This is great. Oh,
You know what?
Careful,
Fun,
cameraman.
Clever. This is enjoyable.
And he has to pay the bill.
Mama?
Heute war ich an der Reihe.
All right, that was cute. You know
It
what?
was. Yeah, I like the callback.
I think if only because it was genuinely unexpected. I did not think that they would return to that scene.
Ah, white socks and pale blue denim.
A classic look.
It is, yeah. He just needs to slide across the floor in it.
This moment brought to you by Calvin Klein jeans.
Bestimmte Dinge kann man nicht besitzen. Liebe zum Beispiel.
Are we winding up?
This honestly feels like the end of the film, doesn't it?
It does.
I think this is one of the criticisms that were kind of lodged at the movie, is that it goes down too simply. Like, the coming out process is not fraught with conflict or difficulty. If anything, it's just Sebastian's own kind of internal struggle, but that's not quite enough to sustain the film.
No, and it's not very well conveyed either. I can't follow his internal logic. I mean, granted, he's a teenager, but it just seems to be going all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, the criticism that, he himself is not clear on it or he's struggling with it, we've seen it conveyed better in other films. So to me, this just doesn't, it's not being done quite right.
Ich finde, dass deine Mutter absolut spitze ist.
Fängst du auch schon damit an? Sie ist ganz okay.
See, now it feels like we're replaying the scene where Ulf was introduced to his family.
Wo warst du Freitagabend?
Wir waren bloß in der Stadt.
Yeah.
Und wo warst
We're going to start doing makeup now. And a bath.
Right.
Abendessen bei meiner Oma.
And waffles.
Hat dich unten am Bahnhof gesehen. Du bist plötzlich weggerannt wie ein Blöder. Irgendwas stimmt doch nicht.
Ich wollte bloß etwas ausprobieren. Warum bin ich da hingegangen?
Was wolltest du ausprobieren, Sebastian?
Rauskriegen, ob ich anders bin als die anderen. Du darfst mit niemandem darüber sprechen.
Ich weiß ja nicht mal, worum es geht.
Mit niemandem. Lieber sterbe ich.
Das wird mit Sicherheit nicht passieren.
Doch.
Wäre das so eine Katastrophe, wenn jemand mitkriegt, dass du homosexuell bist?
She just knows.
Yeah.
Was soll ich sein?
Das war doch wohl damit gemeint, dass du ein bisschen anders bist.
Oh, okay.
Fair assumption.
Vielleicht schon. Aber muss ich mich deshalb wie ein Idiot benehmen?
Das ist in dem Moment einfach über dich gekommen. Das kann jedem mal passieren. Du bist nicht der einzige, Sebastian.
Ich habe auf jeden Fall noch keinen anderen gesehen.
Einer der Ärzte im Krankenhaus, der Torwart in der Fußballmannschaft und dann 20, 30 allein bei uns in der Schule.
I can name all the gay people in this small town.
20 and 30?
In a high school? No.
No.
Ich bin in Ulf verliebt.
Well,
I mean,
unless it's the one in Heartstopper, where they're pretty much all queer.
Alle sind in Ulf
but like, they don't even live in Oslo, so this town is not that big.
I don't think so, no.
Because they said at the beginning when they were hanging out at the train station, if we wanted to go to Oslo, that's the train.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's the issue that I'm having. Not
Yeah.
only is Sebastian not the most interesting character to center the story around, and we're kind of struggling to get a sense of his internal idea or monologue, but also there are no other characters. Like, Lisbeth is not a character. So, like, spending time with her is... I'm just like, ugh, I don't really know who she is. Like, isn't this time better spent with Ulf?
Yeah. She has a hairball at the moment, so maybe that's...
It's a character arc for her.
Yeah.
Sebastian, was ist hier passiert?
Du hast meine Tür aufgemacht?
Ja, allerdings.
Du hast die Tür zu meinem Zimmer aufgemacht.
Ja, so ist es.
Das ist mein Zimmer.
Aber das ist mein Haus.
How did we go from a hairball to, like, you didn't knock?
Well, I guess they're thinking that she choked on his cock.
Habt ihr etwa
Oh, no. Smoking hashish.
Ich
Okay.
verstehe rein nichts.
Ich habe ein Haar in den Mund bekommen.
Mein Haar, es war mein Haar.
Pubic.
Ich verstehe überhaupt nichts mehr.
You know what? You and me both, Lee, because what the fuck is going on right now?
No idea. I have no idea what this character arc is at all. Didn't we suspect that... Is Lisbeth Ulf's girlfriend and used
It
to
was-
be Sebastian's?
Yeah.
Deine Freunde
Or at
nicht
least,
so
like,
dunkel
they have had romantic
haben.
feelings
Sie
for
finden
each
nicht,
other.
was mit dir los ist, wenn sie wirklich deine Freunde sind. Wir finden daran nichts seltsam oder falsch. Du kannst wieder ganz locker sein.
Oh, I wonder what was going to happen then.
Oh gosh, here we go. Starting platonic. Let's experiment. No, okay, we're gonna cut.
Good.
This movie doesn't need any confusion. It's already kind of confusing enough. And
I know, we're in the third act. We really don't need his heteral experimentation. Oh, the nips are out again.
Einen
Take a shot, everyone. Have you not done that with Neverending Story? Every time Atreus' nips pop out, you take a shot.
I cannot say that I have.
Try it. It's great.
Weiß, Lisbeth hat's mir erzählt.
I must say, Ulf's outfit is giving tropical island realness right now between the shirt and the white linen pants.
Die hier ist für dich.
So the girls have forgiven him for terrifying them.
I guess. They've gone to therapy. The music is telling me that this is a very sweet, endearing scene. I don't understand why, though.
Is he going to give a piece of jewelry to Ulf?
Wenn das Wetter hält,
Perhaps.
uns morgen am
Feel
Strand treffen,
appropriate.
zusammen miteinander.
Ja.
Again, is this the movie wrapping up?
Wir können die Sache sofort klar machen. Da kommen sie alle drei.
Reservoir waistcoats.
All these three other characters do is come and go.
Train station?
Probably.
It's a metaphor. For teenage life in Sweden.
Ich fühle mich
Right.
eigentlich gar nicht so schlecht dabei. Endlich traue ich mich. Jetzt kann das wahre Leben beginnen.
What? Why? Wait,
Is-
what?
Is it?
Why?
Is this the end of the
Is this
movie?
it? Yes, this is the end of the movie. We are
Love.
done.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Conrad, I would love to hear some of your queerentary. What did you think about the key issues for queerness in this film?
I don't know. It all seemed, as you say, terribly easy. I mean, people would just ask him direct questions or make direct assumptions in the case of Lisbeth, and he would just confirm them. The parents seemed to have sort of a more complicated reaction, especially the mother. But other than that, it just seemed to be fine. I suppose one thing that the film didn't do, which, you know, a lot of these narratives focus on his first love and the sort of turmoil that's involved in that, whereas it didn't do that. He and Ulf remained sort of platonic friends. Ulf is this metrosexual from 1995 that fell through a time hole, I guess. But so it has, I don't know, weirdly progressive, easygoing, but at the same time, I didn't really understand Sebastian's inner journey, even though we had plenty of scenes where we had dialogue, presumably from the book, internal dialogue. It seemed to have the key moment an hour in when he came out to his parents and eventually everybody else, and then lost the thread completely. Thematically, I didn't know what was going on, unless in the Red Riding Hood scene where he terrified the two children, it was some sort of metaphor for being in the closet, the wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't know. I don't think so. I found the whole thing just narratively very vague.
It was almost aimless in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't think you're wrong. It felt like the film kind of peaked at about the 1 hour mark, and then we just kept going for an additional 20 minutes, but there wasn't enough narrative juice, and it wasn't even character based, because I don't really feel like we learned anything new about Sebastian after the fact.
No, he didn't seem to struggle with anything. They weren't finding ways with character interactions or with situations that he found himself in that exposed exactly what the nature of his conflict was with his sexuality, or how his attitude towards it changed and grew. He just seemed to sort of kick some windows in and thrash about in blue lightning, and then he was ready to dare with his friends at the train station. I don't know. I couldn't provide a commentary. It seemed very, very, very light and insubstantial. So. tip of the shade, the most ridiculous or memorable aspect of this film, Joe?
Yeah, I feel like this is an easy one, but I'm going to go with the unorthodox choice and say the mom's reaction to the coming out was kind of the silliest or campiest moment of this movie. I felt like the film was reaching for gravitas, but what it gave us instead was a kind of bizarre reaction where she just gets almost hysterical and then cleans the kitchen in the dark.
Yeah, trying to do something practical and family oriented, but symbolically unaware of her surroundings.
Falling apart at the seams.
Yes, I don't know. For me, it has to be Mom replaying Sebastian's prank earlier on in the film by crawling out of the toilet in the restaurant. And,
hilarious.
Yeah, I loved it. Most ridiculous and bizarre moment of the film for me, but I kind of liked it. So, Chili Pepper Award. Best or worst moment of sex or intimacy? I've got one for each. I think the worst moment is Dad toweling off teenage son in the middle of the night whilst shirtless, which made me feel incredibly uncomfortable, but perhaps that's just my cultural reserved nature compared to that of Sweden. Who knows?
Indeed. Yes. A very curious moment. It feels like it could have taken the film in a completely different, unorthodox direction that we didn't want it to go in.
No, definitely not. Other than that, I don't know. It was strangely lacking in chili peppers, I thought.
I mean, we had the pleasure of seeing Ulf's nipples at nearly every instance he appeared on screen, but I would still say there was something curiously hot about the combination of the cum splattery bath sequence as well as the tramp stamp makeup makeover scene.
Yes. I definitely thought there was going to be an excuse for some sort of intimacy, but again, Sebastian seemed to hold back until the least appropriate time to make
His
an
timing
advance.
is terrible.
Absolutely abysmal, but there we go.
Okay, so Conrad, on the grand scale of queer gaziness, just how queer would you rate this film?
Yeah, I don't know. I found it pretty tame. Okay, it's 1995, but there wasn't actually a romance. There wasn't actually any sex.
And there was no conflict.
No, not really. So it's just a lack of spiciness all around. So I'm going to give this a 2, just on the off chance that there is something worse that we're going to tackle further down the line. So leave myself room. But yeah, I found it pretty inconsequential and meandering and dull, really.
Yeah, this was a curiosity. I was interested to see if we were going to get something different or unique out of it, and it ended up being exactly what we anticipated, which was a fairly insignificant, very gentle kind of coming out story. If anything, that is what distinguishes it from other films that I think we're going to cover, which is that there is no conflict here. There is no drama. And in some ways that is interesting, but it also didn't make for a particularly exciting film. So I'm in agreement with you. I think this is a 1, a 2. It's not bad. I'm not sad we watched it, but I can't say rush out and watch it.
No, I don't think it's going to be up in some sort of pantheon of milestone moments in queer cinema, but there we go. Okay, well, I hope everybody enjoyed us watching Sebastian in Blue, and it's been great fun.
Until next time.
Bye for now.